So it's your first trip to Cannes Film Festival and you've decided to come, but you don't know what to do. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the festival so you're not unprepared. There's two ways you might already be going to Cannes. One, you've got a film in the Cannes Film Festival, in which case the festival will reach out to you with all the information you need, and that will be a good starting point. But if you just decide to go, if you're a filmmaker, an actor, or anyone to do with the film business, the first thing you want to do is get your accreditation, okay? And that is a badge that gives you access to the films and the market, which is where they buy and sell all the films, and all of the festival pavilions, which is a series of tents where each country is represented with their film commission and various resources for that country's film industry. So how do you get your accreditation? Well, the official Festival Cannes website has a section on it called Take Part, and if you go under there you can apply for an accreditation. You have to be a film industry professional, so you have to have a job in film or be an actor or a publicist, and you'll go through the form and you basically give them information that proves that. So if you're an actor, they will ask for your IMDb profile and maybe a letter from your agent or manager. Now, this accreditation is basically free. This is specific to Cannes. They give out free accreditations to people in the film industry. There is a small sign-up fee now of about 20 euros at the time of we're doing this. And if you apply late, that fee goes up, so try and get in early. Now, what that badge gives you access to, once you get it, is an online portal where you can order tickets for the different films and premieres. It's kind of a lottery system once you get that badge, but if you do get given a ticket and you get to walk the red carpet and go in the film, that is free. Unlike some other festivals where you pay for a ticket on their website because it's a public film festival. So Cannes is very special in that way. You definitely should try and get the accreditation badge. You don't need it everywhere you go in Cannes, but there's a couple of things that it's useful for outside of watching films. And number one is just access to the festival area. So even if you're moving around the festival, if you have that badge, you can get into places and out of places more quickly than going around the exterior of the building. You can use it to get meetings. Let's say you're trying to get contacts in film because you're trying to make a film or sell a film or raise finance. There's various exhibition stands within the market where different film companies are represented. And that's where you can go to meet the producers behind the films or the sales agents mainly. So if you have a film that you're trying to sell, you might have a booth in that market, and that's where your sales agent will be. And the other reason to get a badge, really, they give you a lanyard and they give you a physical badge. And so that's a way of just when you're walking around town, you know who's a film professional, who's not. They have the badge on them. So it's a quick check that you can see, okay, this person is legitimately in film, and you can trust that they are because the festival has approved them. I have noticed as well that certain of the main hotel lobbies and restaurants, if you're trying to get in them at a busy time when they're normally open to the public, they might close off to the public, but they'll give access to people with the badges. So it's sort of a badge of honor, if you like. So second thing you want to figure out when you get to Cannes is location. Now, Cannes is set in a bay. It's kind of like a half moon bay. Palm Beach is one end and the old port is the other end. All of the main festival activity exists between these. There's a main festival building called the Palais des Festivals, and that's where all the red carpet premieres take place, all the conferences and the film market. But the events generally stretch along the whole front of that beach in all the hotels and restaurants, and that's called Le Croisette. So when you hear people talking about going up and down the Croisette, that is what they're referring to. It's the road along the beach. So what are all these different events that I'm talking about? Well, all different film companies have offices, temporary offices during Cannes in the big hotels. So they're taking meetings. You'll see the banners hanging over the balconies, which will tell you which film company's based out of where. And it's just an absolute buzz of different events. As I said in a previous video, Variety, Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, they all run events. WeAudition runs an event. And various companies trying to get you interested in their film resource, whether it's a film financing platform or some fund from a different country or an awards that wants to award celebrities. They'll all be running events because Cannes is the one time of the year, it's the most, I think I read that it's the most popular press time on the social calendar. More journalists attend Cannes than any other event in the world. So if you have something to shout about, it's a really good place to do it. And so that's why outside of the official film festival events, there are hundreds of other events going on, and there's various ways to be part of that, from knowing someone so that they can get you on the guest list. Some of them are just for free sign up on Eventbrite, some sell tickets, it's all different. Now, some of them are official Cannes Festival events. So how do you know the difference between these? The official sponsors of the event often have their own events. This year it was BMW, Campari, Magnum, so they will have their events. They tend to be a bit higher status because they're official Cannes Festival events. Then you've got events like the WeAudition Future of Casting panel. We were affiliated with the Marché de Film because our panel was live streamed at the festival platform. And so that adds a little bit of credibility to it. But the events that aren't part of the festival are still great fun. And actually, sometimes you meet the best people there because everyone's doing business and they also like to have a little bit of fun on the side. So there's all sorts of extravagant events to take part on. Now, as I said, the Palais Festival is down one end of the Croisette. All along that street are different hotels and restaurants, but geographically, so you get your bearings, there are three real main hotels that people will talk about. One is called the Majestic Barriere. The next one along is called the Carlton Hotel, and the next one along after that is called the Martinez. There's many other hotels along that street, but those are good indicators. People usually say, oh, it's near the Martinez or it's near the Carlton, as a way for you to understand how far you're walking and to get around. And as I said, those hotels, they have lobby bars, which are just a buzz of activity anytime, day or night. So if you're ever feeling like you've got a few moments to kill and you want to go in somewhere that's still fun and festival vibe, one of those hotels would be really, really good for you. So what kind of clothing should you bring? We get asked that question a lot. I always say with Cannes, you can never, ever be overdressed. You see people walking around in tuxedos at 8 o'clock in the morning because they're going to a premiere. It's also okay to be casual, but just remember, if you're going into a nice event, that event probably has a dress code that will be either black tie, which means tuxedo and bow tie, and a gown for the ladies, or it will be, cocktail dress, which is suits, ties, nice evening wear. But what you find is if there's no dress code, most people still dress on the side of more elegant, on the side of more formal. Mainly because I think a lot of people like to dress up no matter what, but a better reason is because you never know what you're going to next. You might be at that party, you think it's just a casual drinks, and then you meet somebody and they invite you to another thing, and that thing is cocktail dressed, then you're already ready to go if you're dressed up. If you're in your casual clothes, you need to run home, get changed to take advantage of that opportunity. So I always recommend dress well, and that will mean people want to invite you to other places. Where should you stay? So a big question is accommodation when you come to a film festival. It's very expensive compared to other times of the year, okay? What you might see on an Airbnb or a hotel website, the prices could be 3, 4, 5 times that amount because space is a premium. Often in film festivals, people choose to go into accommodations with other people, so they'll split, smaller houses between more people, or they'll stay a little further out. So there's mixed opinions on this. If you want to save money, you could stay a little bit further out of town, but then what you have to factor in is you're always trying to get back into town, and taxis can be expensive, they can take a long time. So really try and figure out what's the best place. Is it good to save money and be further out, or is it good to spend a little more money and not have the hassle of traveling in or the expense of traveling in and take full advantage of those few days? So really think about it when you're doing your budget, because you might save a few $100s being a town across, but then you're going to end up spending a few $100s more getting back into town where the action is happening. If you want some guideline of where's great to stay, there's a main freeway that passes through Cannes and a train station. Anywhere between there and the beach is a great location to stay. and somewhere as far east as Palm Beach or as far west as the port. Again, that's a really good catchment area where you can pretty much walk around anything you want in that zone. So if you are on the fence about coming to Cannes, all I can say is I've been coming here for nearly 20 years. So has my business partner, Richard. Something magical always happens. It's always a great experience. And if you do decide to come, look out for WeAudition. We're usually here running a panel or a party or both. We might have the WeAudition house again. And so check us out, see what we're up to. And there's also a lot of content online. You can see our future casting panels if you look for them on YouTube. And we'd love to see you here next time if you're a WeAudition member.